What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I want to talk about the value of currency and how it impacts export imports and trade altogether. In present day 2018, the United States under Donald Trump's administration is undergoing a lot of trade deal negotiations, as well as rumors around scratching some trade deal negotiations altogether, such as NAFTA. You might hear on the business news a lot reports going out about the value of a currency going up or the value of a currency going down. What you have to understand in regards to currencies, there are always two big parties directly affected and impacted by the change of a value in a currency. These are the exporters and the importers. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have three countries, Germany, Japan, and the US, and their currencies being the euro, the yen, and the US dollar. Let's say these countries all trade bicycles with one another, so there are importers and exporters in each country that buy and sell bikes from other countries. And let's say the currency is 1-to-1 for all three. This should be just fine and dandy, and business should go on as usual, nice and smooth. But let's say one day the Japanese currency starts going up in value, and let's say it reaches a point where it's at 2-to-1. What that simply means is you now have to give 2 euros for 1 yen, and you have to give $2 for 1 yen. Now, how does this affect the exporters and the importers? It affects them like this. When you engage in a transaction with another country, or you are buying a foreign product, you first have to convert your currency to that country's foreign currency. So if a bike was 10 yen in Japan, and the US wanted to import that, they would have to pay $10 given a 1-to-1 exchange rate. However, now that it's become 2-to-1, that 10 yen bike is now $20 US, so its price has gone up twice as much. Now, this is really bad for importers because Japanese goods and services are now twice as expensive. So when the currency of Japan goes up in value, all goods and services become more expensive to foreigners. In the real world, you'll see things like Germany and the US exploring alternatives rather than having to pay twice as much for Japanese goods and services. So this really hurts exporters in Japan because exporters in Japan rely on importers from other countries to buy their goods and services. This will hurt their business and will affect their economy. However, there's another side to this deal, and that's the importers in Japan. Importers in a country are largely in favor of their currency becoming more valuable because now the Japanese importers are in a position where their yen is a lot stronger and they have a stronger purchasing power in other countries. They're essentially getting all goods and services in other countries at a discount because the 2-to-1 ratio also means that the Japanese now only have to give half as much in regards to their currency for other goods and services. Now they can import bikes from Germany and import bikes from the US at half the price. So if a bike in Germany was 10 euros and if a bike in the US is $10 like it was 10 yen before, they now have to only pay 5 yen, whereas before they had to pay 10 yen. So an increase in a country's currency value means importers buy more from foreign markets and less for domestic markets. So that's really all you have to know about this. Obviously, in the real world, currency values don't go up that much, and there are a lot of alternatives because every other country essentially engages in trade with the exception of a few. But that's the key takeaway I want you guys to take away from this video. When currency value goes up, that country's exporters fare worse off and their importers are better off. However, at the same time, importers in other countries are worse off and the exporters in other countries are better off because there's more demand for their product from the initial country. So a high currency value is good for importers, bad for exporters. A low currency value, good for exporters because their stuff becomes cheaper in the market, and bad for importers because they have to pay more in the foreign market. So you're always going to see the shift in demand between foreign and domestic depending on what your currency can do relative to other currencies. And that's all I really wanted to talk about today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a nice day. Take care.